Joining us now, Jennifer Gauthier, the Executive Director of Women's Place of South Niagara. Jennifer, has this situation affected the way you deliver your services?
It really has. It's had a large impact on the way that we are able to provide safety and security and counseling to women and children experiencing abuse. So all of our programs have had to shift to be over the phone. So there's no face-to-face appointments. And that's really challenging because some women are still living in the home. So for them to be able to have private phone calls and things like that with our staff can be quite difficult. The shelter is at a reduced capacity right now in order to maintain social distancing. So we're not able to serve the amount of women that we typically do. There hasn't been a need, but we're expecting that with the current situation and the economic stresses that families are going to be facing and the increased access that abusers will have to their partners being isolated at home, that the need for our service is going to rise. So at Women's Place, we're looking at innovative ways to make sure that we can keep women safe. And we want to get the message out there that if women and children are being abused and they don't feel safe at home, that they need to call us and we still can help. We will find them a safe place to go.
I was going to mention that with the isolation and the stress on the families the way they are now, how important is it for people to be able to get a hold of Women's Place of South Niagara?
It's of tremendous importance. We feel that there may be lives lost in this situation because often women and children have a reprieve from the home if they get to go to work, if their partners are at work, if their children are at school, and these are safe places. And now they don't have a safe place. Home is not safe. So, and being together, potentially dealing with issues of poverty or not having a steady income and increased access, it's just a perfect storm for the issue of domestic violence.
Now, you mentioned the only way that they can reach Women's Place of South Niagara is by phone. Do you still have your 24-hour hotline available?
We do. We have a 24-hour hotline available that they can find on our website at www.womensplacesn.org, or they can reach it in Welland at 905-788-0113, or they can reach us in Niagara Falls at 905-356-5800.
Now, you mentioned that your shelters are running at limited capacity. What has the isolation, or how has the isolation had an effect on the atmosphere in those shelters?
So if you can imagine being isolated with people that you don't really know. So that can be quite a stressful situation, having to spend all of your time not being able to access your family and your friends and your supports, and living in a communal living environment with a bunch of people. It can become quite stressful. So we're looking at ways to provide entertainment, hosting games and things within the shelter while maintaining social distancing so that we can bring some fun to the environment. It's difficult for children to not have an escape with community programs and things being closed and parks and things. There's not much for that people to do with children, and it can become difficult for them to remain inside, like I'm sure all families are experiencing right now.
It must be really difficult to maintain that delicate balance between social distancing and being there to comfort somebody who needs that in their situations.
All of our staff are going above and beyond in this circumstance. I can't say enough about what they're doing to provide safety to women and children in the Niagara region. Everybody's pulled together and they're communicating to all of our residents that are staying with us that, although I can't be near you, I'm listening to you and I'm here to support you, and just trying to reassure them that we are listening and we do care and we want to provide the support that they need.
Now, Women's Place of South Niagara does rely on donations to help fund their program. Obviously, some of the events that you have may be affected by the shutdown of Ontario.
Yeah, without being able to have large gatherings within our community right now, we're at risk of losing our number one fundraiser, which is the Book Riot, scheduled for the beginning of June. Messaging that we're receiving from the government is that we most likely won't be able to host that event. Last year it raised us $72,000, so that is a significant loss for our agency. So we're hoping that we'll receive some support from the community or from the government around that moving forward so that we can maintain our services for the next year.
Jennifer Gauthier of Women's Place of South Niagara, thank you very much for being with us today. Best of luck to you and your staff as we go forward.
Thank you.